Hey there, everybody. American Idol is back. It has been a long time.
It has, and I mean, first time out here, pretty good group of people.
Pretty good, yeah. There's a couple of people who I'm really excited about.
Yep.
There's obviously going to be controversy anytime you have Claudia Conway on the show.
Yep.
But we'll take you through in this video some of the people who really sort of stood out to us the most.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Benson Boone, we've got Grace Kinsler. There's a few different people that stand out who I think are gonna go pretty far, and it just felt good to have something resembling like normal American Idol back on, even with the social distance that was thrown in there.
Lionel Richie's mask that says hello was the best.
There are certain things, like the moment I saw that, I was like, oh, Jess is gonna love that.
Oh,
Like,
I loved it.
the judges.
Lionel Richie.
They're good. The production of this show knows what it's doing. It has good judges, good packages for people.
Yep.
We got a lot to talk about, though. Before we do, if you guys enjoy this discussion, subscribe, because we're gonna be here for a lot of American Idol this season. Yep. We will break things down. We will give you our honest feedback, and we don't want you to miss any of it.
Absolutely. Hit that subscribe. We will have new videos up after each episode.
Okay, do we just go ahead?
Okay, we are going to just get straight into the Claudia Conway of it all.
Okay.
But before we do, we're just going to lay it out here that we are not a political channel.
Nope.
We never talk politics here. We don't talk about our own stuff. We don't talk about anyone else's stuff. We have had to cover people sort of in politics or around politics because we covered Dancing with the Stars and Sean Spicer a few years ago and all that sort of thing. So here we are now with Claudia Conway.
Claudia, she's... Okay, I was very interested by the way that they marketed her, because they showed her time and time again in all the previews, but we never heard her sing. Like, I honestly had no idea going into this whether or not Claudia was going to be good, she was going to be bad. Honestly, I think it's actually, I'm not sitting here like tooting my horn or anything, but this is kind of actually what I thought, which what it was going to be, where I think she's got a little bit of talent. I think she's not a terrible singer by any means, but she's also got a lot of clear weaknesses. I don't know why in the world she chose When You Were Young by Adele, because that song, especially when you get to that chorus, it is huge.
Yeah, you have to pick a song that's right for your voice. Not everyone is going to have the big, huge, powerful voice, but that doesn't make you a bad singer or a less of a singer. You just have to pick the right songs for your voice. But it was very interesting that Katy Perry gave her the sort of feedback to sort of calm it down, sing a little more from yourself, and not to sing like you're waiting to go on social media and read the comments of your Instagram or TikTok, because during the actual performance airing tonight, she was on Instagram, live streaming, watching the show, reading the comments, and talking to people. I was kind of curious after I heard Katie's comment if Claudia was at home doing this, and she was. So I'll just throw that out there. That doesn't mean that she is a bad singer, because she's not.
Yeah.
But when you put her up against some of the other people that were on the show tonight, like Benson Boone or Alex Miller or Grace, it's going to be really hard for her.
I don't think she's going to make it through Hollywood Week. It's not that I think that maybe in a couple of years, when she kind of gets more control over her voice, maybe she could go a little bit further. But I loved the advice that Katie gave her. I'm not even going to pretend I know what it's like to be Claudia Conway and everything that she has to deal with. But, I'm not surprised she made it through. She's somebody who's going to get the show headline. She's at least got a decent voice. It's not perfect in every aspect.
No, but she's still really young, and it is a voice that could definitely be worked into something really good. She's got lots of time.
Yeah, she does. And so it doesn't feel solely like, okay, they just put her through because, she's Claudia Conway. It's like there is some potential there. I don't know if we're going to get there because, what, since you mentioned Grace Kinsler, like, let's just transition into this for a moment because this is just the first note she sang. I was just like, all right, I'm listening.
Yeah, and when she then went into Natural Woman, which is just such a difficult song. I mean, even when Katy Perry had brought up, I was like, this song, you have to sing this song like it is the first time I'm hearing this song, because a lot of people have done this song. A lot of people have done it really well.
Yeah.
A lot of people have not done it well. Grace just killed this song. It was so good. It was so good. Her voice is amazing. And that's why we're saying sort of with Claudia that when you put the two of them up against each other, it's going to be very difficult for Claudia at the point that she's at now.
Grace just has this booming voice. And the thing is, it sounds natural to her. Like, that was the craziest part about it to me, is just like, she was singing and it was full and it filled the room, and I'm sure she was trying. I'm not acting like, oh, she wasn't even trying, but it's just like she made it look like it was nothing to her, that she could just go up and do this. Like, I'd be interested to hear her sing songs that are a little bit more muted and are a little bit less of, okay, here is a big note, because I know she can do that, and I want to see more versatility now. But I mean, man, what an audition. Like, she got 2 songs to sing, but it wasn't because the first one was bad.
No, it felt like we just want to hear more. So what else have you brought us today? But speaking of people who have just natural talent, who opened the show was Benson Boone, and he is a TikToker. He's a huge TikToker. He's got like 1.2 million people following him.
Yeah.
He said that he's only been singing about a year, and it does not sound like he's only been singing about a year. He has a really nice natural talent with him and with his voice. I really like him, and I was surprised that they had him opening the show, because he was somebody who was, for all these TikTok viewers or whatever, I'm calling it like the TikTok.
Like we know what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to be 46 in 2 weeks. So, I'm not with the TikTok, but I understand that it is an important social media, and there are lots of stars on it, but he was just so natural. His voice is beautiful. They had him open the show. He's really good.
What I liked about sort of his audition was kind of just the innocence of it, in a way, where he doesn't really know how to use the microphone properly. He's still kind of raw, and they almost fooled me. Like, I thought because he was opening the show that, like, okay, you're not going to open the show with a disaster. You're going to give us someone good right away. But I was just like a tiny bit nervous that, okay, he's not going to be that great, and he'll just sort of squeak by with a couple of yeses. But yeah, he was legitimately, like, really, really good. I think he has still, like, another couple levels where he can go, where he can get even more control over his voice.
But for 1 year of singing, that's amazing. And it's also amazing that he is sort of internet famous and still feels like he's a really down-to-earth guy.
Yeah, I really, really liked him, and
I like him.
I'll be honest, that it's probably because I'm hair jealous, but anytime I see like these,
jealous,
all these dudes who come, they all have like the same hair, like I can't do any of this hair, and so it's just like I usually am not predisposed to sort of liking the Benson Boone archetype, but I really do like him. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him too.
I'm kind of rooting for Alex Miller, too, and I don't even really like country music that much.
I don't really like country music really at all, but, he's 17, they showed sort of a bit who he was, and then his voice, oh my goodness, his voice is so mature for his age, and I loved him singing, I loved hearing him talk. It's just like warm milk. His voice is wonderful.
He reminds me of, it's almost like you've gone to a big, like, open retreat with like 100 different people, and it's like the end of the night, everybody's like getting their marshmallows out, and then everybody's like, get over yonder here, we're all gonna go hear Alex Miller tell a story. And then he picks up the guitar and he sings like this ghost story, and it's like 10 minutes long, and it's great. He is the ghost story country singer.
He's really good. He could turn me around on country music. He's great.
He's just a natural storyteller.
Yeah,
I think he could really do very, very well on this show, and maybe even do some bluegrass.
Yep. Okay, let's talk a little bit about DJ Johnson, who had a really powerful story. I mean, she's got 9 siblings, there's 10 kids. Her dad is like a pastor or something, or a faith speaker. And then there was a story that she told in song where I think hit a lot of people. Obviously, it hit Katy Perry really hard about her mom walking out on them.
Yeah, this is one of those sort of times where someone's broken down mid-performance, and I get a little bit irritated about this with some people just because it's sort of like this is a part of singing, you have to get through the performance. But here I understood because she was talking about singing about something so deeply personal to her in front of, I'm sure it was going through her mind, millions of people were going to see this.
Yeah, I mean, there was the moment after she broke down that Luke was like, I was thinking, how is she getting through this? And here at home, I was also thinking the same. Yeah. I'm like, how is she getting through this? These words feel like they are cutting her deep over and over and over again. I just didn't know how she was holding it together. And obviously, she wasn't able to hold it together.
I think she's a talented singer, but
yeah, she is.
I'm almost even more interested in her as a songwriter moving forward, because out of a lot of our sort of best people on the night, most of them didn't, have that sort of input on their song. They didn't sing from the heart in that sort of way. I think she could do some really amazing things. I'm curious to know kind of what else she sort of has.
Okay, let's talk about Jason Warrior. So, For those of you who don't know, he was on The 4. He mentioned a little bit on the show that he ended up getting into it with Meghan Trainor. If you go and watch it, you'll sort of see more of why he was feeling the way that he was kind of like, man, I really messed up. It wasn't great. And it wasn't great.
No.
That whole thing was really not great. And it was nice to see him sort of have this second chance, come back. I mean, he's got a gorgeous voice, so it's nice that he's able to sort of move forward from that, learn from his mistakes, not go through this again, yeah. I hope. So, yeah.
I think he did a pretty good job with what's going on. Not an easy song to sing at all. I'm sure he's been through it after The 4. It sounds like he's learned a lot from it. I'm sure he's probably looking forward to maybe not being known as the guy who got into it with Meghan Trainor on TV.
Unfortunately, I think he will probably always be stuck being known as that guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he can get past it or not. Like you said, he
can also be known for other things. But I think it's hard when you have sort of this viral moment like that to also just have it be put in the past where it's like, oh no, we don't ever talk about that anymore.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a part of his story, and I'm sure he's aware of this at this point. I did think, yeah, he has a very nice voice. He does do a lot of good things with it.
Yes, he can.
I would say overall, I mean, Grace is probably this is the best person on the night. I don't know. I really like Alex, but I don't know if anybody else is really that close to her, honestly.
There's no denying that Grace's voice is like the best of the night. She really is amazing. But I think the person who just is sticking with me that surprised me the most was Benson Boone. I did not expect that from him. I sort of like, oh yeah, he's this guy, he's a TikToker. Y'all hear the stories about the TikTokers. And he just came out, he was so genuine and just seemed really down to earth and just kind of a humble guy. It was just like, yeah, I've just learned this thing about myself and now I'm here to share it with you. I can sing a little bit. And it's just like, no, you can sing really well. 1 year. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Here's the funniest thing about all this. It's very well possible that at this point, like a month and a half from now, all of these people will be eliminated and we don't even have any of them. I hope that's not the case. Let me make that clear. It's just that Idol's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen in the later rounds. But I'm happy coming out of the premiere. We had some great people we had a chance to talk about here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people in this premiere. It was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hear from you guys. What did you think about the American Idol premiere? Who did you like the most? What do you think about the Claudia Conway of it all the controversy there? Let us know, and if you like this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further, check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we will see you here next time.